I did see morning tea on my way in here, so quick, get on your feet, hurry up, don't even start, because I've got like 18 minutes on the clock and I haven't got time. This is going to be a 20-minute workout, so on your feet, go. I'm not even joking, get up. You just ate muffins and cake. You're all going to go into glycemic shock in about 1.2 seconds. So I need to get you moving. All right, 10 real quick squats. You ready? You're going to count it out. Anyone that doesn't count, we start again. Anyone that doesn't do it, too cool for school up the back. I'm not doing that. Shut up, you're doing it. Ready, set, go. 10, 9, hurry up. Louder. 10, 6, quick. 5, go. 2, 1, yay! Have a seat. Congratulations, you just burnt 3 calories. Woo! All right, let's get into this. The motivation myth, the secret to success. Yeah. I'll get onto that in a second. Motivation. I have this catch cry. It's 100 years old, but I still love it. I hold it dear to my heart. Motivation's like a bad boyfriend, never there when you need him. We'll get onto that in a minute. Before I start talking about motivation, I need to give you a little bit of a preamble, a bit of a start. Oh, there you go. I thought, since we're at the happiness convention, it's probably a question that if someone hasn't asked you already, then we probably should look at it. But I'm figuring you're all here to ask a question just like this or something similar. So what makes you happy? Is it singing? Is it dancing? Is it walking in the rain? Is it the smell of a rose? Is it great sex? Is it curling up on the couch reading a book? Is it curling up on the couch and having a glass of wine and reading a book? Is it Tim Tams? Is it a bowl of ice cream? Is it playing with your children? Is it spending time with your family? Is it working for charity or supporting and helping other people? What makes you happy? I know personally I get instant gratification, my quick fix of happiness when I stroll down to my local cafe and get my very first coffee in the morning. Happy. It's a quick one. Quick gratification, quick happy. Then I've realized now in my life that I also get a happy hit, but it's a much deeper hit when I think about what I do with my career, what I do in my life, what I've been doing since I'm 14 years old. That when I get in the zone, when I'm training, or even when I'm training someone, I get into a place where sometimes time just stands still and I don't even consider anyone else or anything else other than being in the moment. And I come away from that and think, wow, that was so cool. That was amazing. And it gives me an overwhelming sense of happiness. Then I now realize as time has progressed and I've matured a little bit more that I get a much deeper meaning when I take that and step it one step further to knowing that I'm helping other people. That rather than looking within, that I'm actually looking outwards. And when I know that I've got someone that comes up to me and says, Michelle, you've changed my life, you've changed my mum's life, you've changed my dad's life, and they are living a life that they never thought possible, then that's the happy that keeps me warm at night. That's the happy that lasts because it's deep and it's entrenched and it gives my life meaning. The coffee hit in the morning, yeah, still makes me happy, but nothing like that. So research tells us currently that 50% of what makes us happy is up to our genetics and evolution. That 10% of life, what makes you happy is life circumstances, marital status, work status, wealth, etc. But what blows me away, and this comes from Dr. Martin Seligman, the founder of positive psychology, who has actually spoken at this conference, that 40% comes down to our choices and our actions, and I'm like, wow! That puts me pretty much in the box seat, in the driver's seat. So think about it. What actions, what choices could you make today that's going to get your happy barometer up? You got a 40% shot at it, dude. That's pretty good. What it also tells me is that in order to figure out what my choices and my actions are that's going to get me a little happier, I got to know a few things about myself. I got to do a little bit of introspection. So there's this dude called Socrates, and this is a very famous statement of his. And when I first read it, I was like, an unexamined life is not worth living. What? Look, when someone says, or when I say, those shoes are not worth $500, I get it. Or that jacket is not worth $1,000, I get it. Or that car is not worth $30,000. Absolutely not. I totally get that that's not worth it. But when someone says not worth living, it's a big statement. So I wanted to check in a little bit deeper with this. Worth. What does it cost? Well, according to this dude, an unexamined life is not worth living. Okay, so apparently he knows what he's talking about. He's a pretty smart dude at the time. An unexamined life. All right, well, what does that mean? What is an unexamined life? An unexamined life is unexamined. It hasn't been checked in with. It hasn't been looked at. It hasn't been tested. Maybe in robot mode, get up, get dressed, have breakfast, get in the car, go to work, do some work, get back in the car, come home, maybe have a chat, maybe watch some TV, have something to eat, go to bed, and set your alarm clock to repeat mode. Autopilot, treading water. Perhaps a life that's based on values or beliefs that we've never looked at, you've never looked at, tested, or even examined. Living equals, well, your life from start to finish. It's kind of big. Possibly in a direction that's not of your own choosing. Okay, so we're talking some pretty big stuff here. I'm prepared to have a look. I'm prepared to do a little bit of self-examination. A lot of people run from it and are fearful of self-examination because they feel like it could corrode their self-worth or their self-beliefs and their self-values. But what about this? What if it actually amplified your life? What if it even purified your life by giving you some clarity around who it is you are and where you're going and where you no longer want to go and who you no longer want to be, but you'd rather be over here? All right, well, let's check in. So, can you believe this is all coming down to motivation? I know, we're getting there. If 40% of my actions and my choices can potentially make me happier, then I got to and a bit of self-examination is necessary to have me living a life that's worth living, then I got to ask myself a couple of big questions. My number one question I always ask my clients, my contestants, and myself is, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want to travel? Do you want the job promotion? Do you want to have family? Do you want to have a boyfriend? Do you want to have a girlfriend? Hey, do you want to get married? Do you want to get a wife? Do you want to get a husband? Do you want to lose a wife? Do you want to lose a husband? Do you want to have kids? If you've got kids, do you want to have a better relationship with your kids? Do you want to have a better relationship with your mom, your dad, your brother? What do you want? The question after you've answered that, and you need to, why? Why do you want it? This is your armory. This is going to help you get some tools in your toolkit. The more whys you have, the more you'll slay your excuses. And I'll get onto those in a moment. The kicker is only you can create the why. I can't. Your mum can't. Your sister can't. Your friend can't. Only you can. What do you want? And why do you want it? The more whys you have, the more rationale you've got to say, God damn it, this is why I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's freezing cold in winter, because X, Y, Z. Or this is why I'm saying no to my friends on the weekend when they're all going off having a great time and I'm staying at home writing my book. This is why I'm toiling. This is why I'm enduring. This is why I'm pushing the boundaries, because that's what I want, and these are the reasons why. So when we're looking at self-examination, or personally, I like to look at a word, one of my favorite words, responsibility. 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 You have an ability to respond. When all the world is out of control and everything is, oh, shit's hitting fan, You have no control over it, but you have control over one thing: how you respond. For example, I was coming back from the Blue Mountains on the weekend, the long weekend on Monday, in traffic. Now, I had the ability to respond in any way I wanted to. And to save the people that were in the car with me, I bit my tongue and didn't respond in the way that I wanted to. Instead, I responded in a different way. Who knew? Who knew that I was a genius at I Spy? Who knew? I have found my calling. I am awesome at I Spy. Okay, granted, I was up against a 6-year-old, but still. Come on, kid, you got to grow up sometime, and I'm winning this game. This is making me very happy. So step 1 with responsibility is to take responsibility of who you are and your life. If you are not willing to do that, you've hit your first, biggest roadblock. Go back to step 1. Keep going back to step 1. Responsibility is the acceptance of your actions, how you respond. You have control of that. So the motivation myth. Need motivation? I'm figuring that's why you're here. You want a bit of motivation. Come on, Michelle. You're the motivation queen. Clearly at 5 o'clock in the middle of winter and it's pitch dark and freezing cold, you must get out of bed and go, woo! Yeah, bring on that 10K run. That never happens, just by the way, ever. And if it did, shoot me. I don't want to be that person. So do you need motivation? It's another excuse. We dress it up. Oh, but I'm not motivated. Well, I'm not motivated to do my tax. I'm so not motivated to put my clothes away. It's one of my pet hates. But we do it. Motivation is another excuse. And excuses are interesting, fascinating. In fact, I've built a little bit of a career around them, and I've written a couple of sections in books on excuses. The one thing that I've learned in my career is that I can take away your house, I can take away your money, I can take away your family, I can take away your car, but I can't take away your excuses. Only you can take them or not. It's totally your call. Excuses, however, they save us. Man, they save us from pain. Excuses save us from our pride. You know, back in the day, I was an athlete. I represented my state and I represented my school back in the day. What are you doing now? They save us from our ego. Big thing that they save us from, which I find a problem, they save us from the truth. They keep us in that denial room with the door firmly shut. Excuses protect you, but at an extremely heavy cost. And you cannot live a full life while you are weighed down by them. Now, let's just say, for example, that you have decided to kick your excuses to the curb. Excellent. And you've found solutions for all of them. Well, I've got some pretty tough news for you. The world can't wait to give you one. Oh my God, they can't wait to give you one. Why? Because an excuse frees everyone from responsibility. Let me give you an example. Oh, come on, it's one piece of cake. It's not going to hurt you. Are you really still doing that whole fitness thing? I mean, God, You can come along to the barbecue. You don't have to go and train. Come on, please. You've been denying yourself for so long. You really deserve this. Hey, we're all going for drinks. Why aren't you coming? Oh, you're only going to have one drink and go? Come on, stay. You deserve it. You work hard. It frees everyone from their own ability to respond. I'm reading a book at the moment by a gentleman called Eric Greeton. And he says in his book, he actually uses the word alibi instead of excuse, which I kind of find that's kind of cool too. Bless you. A good excuse or alibi can be more seductive than an achievement, than a great achievement. An achievement requires daily discipline. An excuse promises to end hardship, failure, and embarrassment. A great achievement requires a bit of pain. An excuse promises pain-free. Except in the long term, not really. There's always going to be a little bit of pain. You can either have a pain in a training session that goes for, maybe an hour, and then for the rest of the 23 hours, have a great time because you're rocking around and feeling good and got lots of energy, or you can have the 24/7 pain that I see all the time of regret and shoulda, woulda, coulda. Choose your pain. Begin. This is from one of my Biggest Loser contestants this year. We're still filming the show. He's still in the house. It hurts to realize how much time I've wasted. I thought it was genius. He, like everybody else, at the beginning, I don't even know how to do this. I don't even know where to begin. I put to you that it's not that you're lacking information. It's not that you're lacking knowledge. It's that you're lacking courage to get started. The information's out there. You can Google how to do a squat. Hey, I've got a whole bunch of recipe books over there. You can come and collect and understand how to cook. The information's there. It's the courage to use it. Not knowing everything cannot be an excuse for doing nothing. Begin. You don't need to know everything. You simply need to know better choices from poor choices. Getting up in the morning and going for a walk or a run rather than sleeping in and regretting the fact that you didn't do it. Choosing the grilled fish and salad instead of the chips and pie. Better choices from poor choices. And be humble. Start with humility. Your task is not to start in a noble place, but to possibly end up in one. You're not going to know everything. That's okay. Begin. Responsibility, taking responsibility elicits fear. Of course it does. It's a natural instinct. And I promise you, if you're afraid of failing, just let me lay it on the line. You will. Anyone who has done anything, industrious leader of our community, all of them have failed. Monumentally sometimes. Be ready for it, to learn from it. Recognize that fear is the proof. Feeling that fear is proof that you've chosen great work to do because it means something to you. And of course, every worthy challenge will inspire some fear. I'm a big believer in small steps to make great change. Small steps. Think of a compass just a couple of degrees out. In the long run, can be a massive difference. My point is by making one small change, you can make over time a massive difference. Small steps of change can make an enormous difference over time. If applied consistently, they can definitely transform lives. It happens through evolution, not revolution. I need to get skinny now. How often's that worked? This is a great quote from the book Resilience that I'm reading at the moment. Over time, through the process of daily choices, we find that we've built courage, strength, and wisdom. We're not denying ourselves. We're not taking away from ourselves. We're actually adding to ourselves. We've changed who we are and how we can be of service to the people around us. Love that quote. So I'd like to leave you with this. What changes can you make today by being resilient, by doing a little bit of self-examination, by checking in, by kicking your excuses to the curb, by asking yourself, what do I want and why do I want it? Making a plan, putting it together. What changes will you make today? Thank you.